Listen, game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 39, Rodgers. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Rodgers, he'll take a shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers! Sammy Watkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Carr. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Trevor Davis deep for Green Bay. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The throw complete here to Williams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down, it's Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And thee coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
319. 59. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he finds Jimmy Graham. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
We got this.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
From the 39, Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Are you crediting your defense?
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Yeah, baby. That's our ball. Our ball.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Washington. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Nelson's got it here right side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's third down.
The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got a man open, it's Darren Waller. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Carr now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. They run from the shotgun with Washington. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyrell Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got
the ball popped in the air and intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. Now Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now Washington. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Intended for DeAndre Washington. Kevin King there defensively.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now on 1st down, it's Washington again. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 2nd down, Washington takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Shotgun now for Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. On first down, it's Jacobs. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. He got 29 yards that time.
First down, Raiders.
Carr now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. First and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here a throw taken in by Watkins.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something?
And the Raiders have got him. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And 10 yards to go.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On second and 11 now. Carr, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Operating from the gun, Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try to make some plays in their backfield.
Carr's throw here caught by Williams. A gain of 13. It's a first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He's not going to get me. Check safety, check safety. Hey, you draw quarter.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run it with Jacobs. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
Leads to second and goal.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Counter play with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Packers. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. Rodgers again now. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers get a score closer.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Great
way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
And it's 3rd down.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. From the gun, Carr. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here now, Johnny Townsend as he's on to punt for Oakland.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 2-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career. And he's going to need another one right now. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a first down on a gain of 10. On first down, Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And that that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world.
And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This is brought in at the 21. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Down. You want it, eh? Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together